Graders, it's Mr. Moser. Coming back at you with some more method conversion practice. I know you've been working all week long with Mrs. Johnson on metric conversions and kind of the metric system a little bit. This will be the lesson that you'll be looking at the day before your test. So hopefully this just gives you a little bit extra practice, a little bit extra confidence, and you're able to work on some of those conversions. So let's start it with metric mania, metric conversions with the king. And no, I'm not calling myself the king. We're about King Henry. So the first thing I have for you is just kind of that reminder of our dad, King Henry. King Henry died unusually in chocolate milk. We're here with kilo, and then we get deca, and then we get to our unit, which is meter when we're dealing with length, liter when with liquid volume, and gram when we're dealing with mass or weight. Then as we move down, we get to deci, centa, and milli, and we continue to go from the larger to the smaller. Over with kilo, we have this kind of larger than character, and then we go all the way down to this poor little teeny tiny mug. Down at the bottom of this page, we have just another way that you can kind of look at metric conversions, where that stair method, where we start here with kilo, and as we go down the stairs, smaller to our basic, we get even smaller. We go up the stairs, we're getting larger. So if we are moving to the right, we're going to move that decimal to the right, and we're moving to the smaller unit. We would be applying, and then if we're moving to the left or moving the decimal to the left, we're dividing, and our unit is getting larger. So when we think about metric conversions, again, we start at the top. We have kilo, which would be 1,000, and then we move hecto, which would be 100, and then we move to deca, which would be 10, before we get to the basic unit of meters, liters, and grams. As we continue down the stairs, we get to deca, which would be 1/10 of a unit. Then we get to would be 100th of a unit, and then finally milli would be 1,000th of a unit. So if you think about it, you make a jump, we're either getting 10 times bigger or we're getting 10 times smaller. Depending on which direction we're going, will determine which direction we're going to use the decimal. So how does this work? So the first thing we're going to do is determine the starting point. So let's say, for example, we're starting with centa, and we just jump to milli. We would start centa, and then we would count our dilla, and then we would move our direction in, or move our decimal place to the right. So let's try one that's a little more tricky. If we have 4 kilometers, we're starting up here with kilo, and we're going to see how many jumps take us back to our basic unit, because we're 4 meters. So the thing we're going to do is we're going to determine our starting point, which would be 4 kilometers, and we're going to see how much it's going to take us to get to our ending point, which in this case would be meters. So 4 kilometers all the way down to meters. So we're going to count how many jumps does it take us. So I'm thinking it's going to take us 1 jump, 2 jumps, and 3 jumps. Let's see if we're correct. So this is our first jump, kilo taco. Second jump, deca, and then go on get to meters. So here's our colors. Notice where the decimal is. We can place a 0 here, and it would still equal 4. So we make 1 jump, would become 40. 2 jumps would be 400, and our third and final jump would make it 4,000 meters. So from 4 kilometers to 4,000 meters. One thing to remember, and I know you guys saw that slide last week, but is we're worrying where to place that decimal. So decimal separates our whole number and our action. If we had 3 and 2500ths as the decimal, it would be saying that 3 and 25 as a mixed number. So any number, I get my number, and that decimal follow number, along with, I could put as many zeros as I would want, and still equal the same thing. So if we go here, 4 was when we started. Even if I had those 3 zeros, it would still equal 4. But as soon as I move that decimal 3 jumps, the 4 becomes 4,000. as we get from kilo to. So just a great idea to remember how or where we decimal. So let's sum together. So we have same little chart up here: kilo, hecto, deca, basic unit, decimil, and milli. Or King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. So if we started 1,000 milligrams, we're starting down at the bottom, 1,000 grams, and we're going to see how much it takes us to get to grams. So it would be 1 jump, 2 jumps, 3 jumps to the left. So we would have our decimal point here. We would 1 jump, 2 jumps, 3 jumps. So 1,000 grams equals 1 gram. If we look at liters, starting at our basic unit, and we're moving to milli. So we have our point here, and we're moving 3 jumps to the right. 1, 2, 3. So we would have 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. Next one, 160 centimeters, and we're moving to milli, so we're making 1 jump to the right. Our would be here, 1 jump or add 1 0. 160 centimeters equals 1,600 milliliters. Looking at this next one, 14 kilometers. So we're starting here with our largest, and we're going to see how many jumps it takes us to get to meters, or our basic unit. 1 jumps, 3 jumps. Best place would be right here, 3 to the right, or 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. 1,000 meters. All right, these last two are a little key. So we start with 109 grams, and we're going to move to the left up to kilograms. So we're 1, 2, 3, but this time our decimal point to the left, decimal would be here. 1, 2, 3. That would be 0.109, or 109 thousandths of a gram. So really small. We think about this is 100 grams compared to kilograms. Same thing here, meters to kilometers. Decimal here, 1 jump, 2 jumps, 3 jumps. Because 1, 2, 3, it would be 0.250 kilometers, or 250,000 meters, which is really small compared to our 250 meters. Moving on, this last page is an example where you practice you would like. Page will be a notebook. They're totally optional, just a little bit of extra practice before you take your math test tomorrow. Remember, think about where we put that decimal, 2,000 milligrams. I place my decimal here, and if I was in milligrams on my curve, I would move it 3, 1, 2, 3. It would equal 2 grams. That's all I have for you. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope these metric conversions are going smoothly. Just remember, King Henry, chocolate. We'll talk to you there.